Oh, goody.
All right, what's going on, everybody? Zombies here again, and today we're back with another Marvel Snap video. So with the new patch comes some new data mines, and we have some information about the September 2023 season. Now I did skip over the last new season information, last update. So if you want to see the cards coming out in August as its own video, let me know in the comments. There was a lot going on at that time, so I just didn't get around to it, but be happy to cover that as well if people want to see it. However, today we're taking a look at September's season. So we kind of knew Loki was going to be the season pass card, but they hid the information last data mine. They actually put some Rick roll text in there to troll the data miners a bit. However, now we know Loki, we know what it does. So let's take a look at it. First, we can see the variants for this season going to be Thor, Enchantress, and obviously one for the season pass card, Loki. But let's take a look at the different cards releasing in the month of September. So, season pass card is Loki. Loki is a 3-cost, 4 power, much like his brother Thor. And on reveal, replace your hand with cards from your opponent's starting deck. Give them -1 cost. So this is definitely a very interesting effect. I think it's going to be more of a fun effect than a necessarily powerful one. However, cost reduction in card games is always powerful, especially imagine you pair this up with like a Quinjet or something and you end up getting -2 cost to all the cards. Well, then we might actually have something here. But due to the random nature of what cards you're getting, you might not necessarily get all the right cards you want from the opponent's deck, but I think such a downside is kind of warranted. Otherwise, I mean, it'd be kind of insane. It might even be insane as it is, but nonetheless, really cool design. I'm very glad they scrapped the old Loki design, which was essentially just swapping hands. That seemed really toxic. And this is really neat, you know, a neat way to end up playing with your opponent's cards. Obviously, sometimes it'll be good, sometimes it won't, but I think overall, probably a pretty fun card and looks to be a much, much better season pass card than the one we got this month. And moving on to the other cards that will be dropping during this month, we have Alioth, which is a 5-cost, 5 power that reads, on reveal, destroy all enemy cards played here this turn, including unrevealed cards. So this is pretty interesting. This is a card that could, in theory, just dominate a lane on its own. If your opponent hasn't played any cards in a lane till the end of the game, if they try and win it with one big card, this will deal with it. If they try and win it with a bunch of small cards, this will deal with it. Seems like a pretty powerful card. Obviously 5 cost, so it is going to take up most of your turn doing it. But very interesting nonetheless, and I think has pretty solid potential. At the time being, we do not know if these are going to be Series 4, Series 5, etc. We just know that these are going to be the cards launching in September. Then we have what I think might be the strongest card of the month, and that is Mobius M. Mobius. 2/3, ongoing. Your costs can't be increased. Your opponent's costs can't be reduced. Yeah, so we finally have ourselves a counter to the redesigned wave. This seems really, really powerful. Seems like it's going to be an insta slot into Sarah control. Sarah really likes its 2-drops, and being able to mitigate one of its biggest weaknesses in getting waved on turn 5 seems pretty good. Seems actually pretty fantastic. This just seems like a very, very powerful card in general. The 2-drop slot has been one that, you know, there aren't a ton of great 2-drops in the game. That's why Jeff, I think, sees so much play, is because he's just a very, very powerful, flexible 2-drop. And I think Mobius here is going to be very similar. Just a very, very powerful way to prevent your opponent from increasing the cost of your cards and prevent them from reducing the cost of theirs. And then we have our last card of the bunch, Ravonna Renslayer. 3-cost, 3 power, ongoing. Your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less, minimum 1. So I'm actually re-recording this part because I misread this card the first time and I thought it was 1 power only. 1 or less is a huge, huge difference because that means it includes 0 power cards, which means this has some potentially powerful interactions. Off the top of my head, this enables you to do something pretty cool like tempo out Iron Man on turn 4 after her, then even follow up with another reduced cost Mystique. Yeah, there's a lot of potential for this card. Way better than I initially thought when it said just one or less, pretty huge deal. Probably going to be a good card. I think this is going to enable some pretty strong combos with cards with 0 power in particular, but also maybe some that have 1 power as well. And there we have it. Those are the new cards coming in the September season. This looks pretty good. I think July has been a little bit of a bust, kind of underwhelming aside from Jean Grey, but that's fine because that gives us an opportunity to save up those spotlight caches for cards that might interest us in August, or like the ones we saw in this video that'll be dropping in September. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you excited for any of these cards? I'm definitely pretty excited for Loki as well as Mobius. I think Mobius is going to be a very meta impactful card as long as Wave is around, so nice to finally have a proper counter to her. But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this video. If you enjoyed it, remember to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.